Thank you for joining us for early childhood interviewing tips and sample questions and answers with BFF Training. And our slogan is Train Your Brain. We're going to go through 10 tips quickly and then 12 sample questions and answers. Tip 1, highlight your passion for working with children. Express your genuine love for working with young children. Share specific examples that demonstrate your dedication, such as a memorable moment when you made a difference in a child's life. If you don't have any classroom experience, this can be a life of a child in your personal life. Tip 2, understand child development. Be prepared to discuss your knowledge of child's developmental milestones. Interviewers may ask you how you adapt your teaching strategies for different age groups or developmental stages. Tip 3, showcase your creativity. Discuss how you create engaging, hands-on learning activities that cater to different learning styles. Share examples of past projects or activities you've led. Tip 4, emphasize your patience and flexibility. Working with young children requires patience and adaptability. Provide examples of how you've handled challenging situations or adapted plans when things didn't go as expected. Tip 5, demonstrate strong communication skills. Effective communication with both children and parents is crucial. Practice answering questions about how you handle parent-teacher communication, resolve conflicts, or manage children's behavior. Tip 6, know your classroom management style. Be ready to discuss your approach to classroom management, including how you set routines, handle transitions, and address behavioral issues in a positive way. Tip 7, be ready to discuss health and safety. Safety is a top priority in any preschool or daycare setting. Prepare to talk about how you ensure a safe environment, your understanding of health guidelines, and how you handle emergencies. Tip 8, research the center's philosophy. Familiarize yourself with the center's educational philosophy and mission. Tailor your responses to show how your teaching style aligns with their approach. So if the school is play-based, you're going to talk about how you implement play in your teaching. If the school is a STEAM school that has a lot of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, you're going to talk about your philosophy and how you love doing science experiments and bringing math into the classroom. Tip 9, bring a portfolio. Consider bringing a portfolio that includes lesson plans, photos of classroom activities, and examples of communication with parents. The visual evidence can help illustrate your experience and skills. You can also bring maybe a CDA portfolio or just a photo with your resume, references, and certificates or related educational experiences to early childhood. Tip 10, ask thoughtful questions. Prepare questions to ask the interviewer. One is probably enough, but a question you might ask them is, what are your expectations for the role? Do you have professional development opportunities? What is the center's approach to parent involvement? This shows your interest and enthusiasm for the position. Bonus tips, dress professionally but comfortably. Choose an outfit that is both professional and practical. Remember, you will be working with young children, so it's important to look approachable and ready to engage with children. Arrive 5 to 15 minutes early. You are making your first impression, so you want them to see you at your best. If for any reason something comes up where you will be late or you cannot make it, make sure you call them and explain the situation. All right, sample interview question and answer time. 1, What strategies do you use to manage challenging behaviors in young children? I believe in positive reinforcement and redirection. For example, if a child is acting out, I calmly guide them towards a more appropriate activity and praise them when they engage positively. I also ensure that my expectations are clear and developmentally appropriate. Question two: how do you support social and emotional development in infants and preschoolers? I support social and emotional development by modeling appropriate behaviors, helping children label their feelings, and providing opportunities for cooperative play. For infants, I respond consistently to their cues to build trust, which is foundational for healthy emotional development. Question three: describe a typical day in your classroom. How do you structure routines for young children? I structure my day with a balance of child initiated and teacher guided activities. For infants, the routine revolves around feeding, napping, and playtime, with plenty of interaction. For preschoolers, I include circle time, hands on, I include circle time, hands on learning activities, outdoor play, and story time. Consistency is key for helping children feel secure. Question four: how do you handle transitions between activities with young children? I use clear signals and provide warnings before transitions. For instance, I might sing a cleanup song or use a visual timer to indicate that it's time to switch activities. I also ensure that transitions are gradual and predictable to minimize stress for the children. What is your approach to creating a safe and inclusive classroom environment? Safety is my top priority. I maintain a clean, organized space free from hazards and ensure all materials are age appropriate. Inclusivity is equally important. So I incorporate diverse books, toys, and activities that reflect different cultures, abilities, and backgrounds. I also foster a culture of respect and kindness. Question six: how do you communicate with parents about their child's development? I believe in regular and open communication with parents. I provide daily updates for infants, covering feeding, naps, and milestones. For preschoolers, I share progress reports, photos, and observations, and I'm always available face to face or virtual meetings to discuss any concerns. Can you provide an example of hands on learning activities you've done with preschoolers? One of my favorite activities is a simple science experiment where children mix baking soda and vinegar to create a volcano. It's engaging and it teaches them about chemical reactions. I encourage the children to describe I encourage children to describe what they observe, fostering language and cognitive skills. Okay, can you provide an example of hands-on learning activities with infant toddlers? Infant toddlers? Allowing my young learners to mix colors and to make handprint art. When I have older infants, oftentimes I use a drop of food coloring and whipped cream, of course, with permission from the parents, and I allow them to express their creativity with the paint. Question eight: how do you support language development in infants and toddlers? I support language development by talking to children throughout the day. Even if they can't talk back yet, for infants, I narrate what I'm doing and respond to their babbles. For toddlers, I expand on their words and introduce new vocabulary through books, songs, and conversations. Question nine: how do you plan for varying developmental needs of children in your care? I assess each child's development regularly and plan activities that are tailored to their individual needs and abilities. For infants, this might involve tummy time or sensory play. For preschoolers, I differentiate activities by offering varying levels of challenge within the same theme or project. Question 10. What role do you believe play has in early childhood education? Play is fundamental in early childhood education. Through play, children explore their environment, develop social skills, and learn problem solving. Whether it's free play or guided activities, I ensure that children have ample time and opportunities for play every day. Question 11. What is your weakness or what makes you upset? The key points here is you want to choose a genuine weakness. You want to make sure it's real, but not something that would raise a red flag for the role. You want to frame it positively. So you focus on how you're addressing the weakness and what steps you're taking to improve it. And then you want to relate it to the role. If possible, connect it to a skill or behavior relevant to the job, showing growth or self-awareness. So you may say, managing my time with all the activities I've planned for my students. I like to plan so many activities for my students. Sometimes I don't get to them all in one day, but I've learned that I can always use them for the next day or roll over to the next week. And I know that it's better to have more than to have less. So that's one example. Next one. Delegating is one of my weaknesses. I don't really allow others on my teams to handle some of the things. I like to do everything myself. So I have to learn to share the responsibility in lieu of doing it all myself. And through that, I have learned that when I do rely on other members of my team, we're able to accomplish more together than as individuals. So that's really something that I've been working on. One more you could try, becoming too attached with my students so that I am sad and a little jealous when they leave. I always want to keep my babies with me. All right, question 12. What are your greatest strengths or why should I hire you? One, highlight a strength relevant to the role. Choose a strength that directly impacts your effectiveness as a teacher, such as patience, creativity, communication, or classroom management. Two, provide examples. Demonstrate how the strength benefits the children and your teaching practice. Specific examples make your answer more compelling. Three, connect it to positive outcomes. Explain how your strength helps create a positive learning environment, fosters child development, and or supports the educational goals of the program. So you have that creativity, engaging in hands-on learning, and your imagination are things that you come with a strength, contribute to the classroom, and also you're able to foster that into your children and your everyday model for it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions that you would like for us to help you answer, please comment them below. If you have any other tips that you would like to share, please comment them below. We wish you the best success in landing your career as an early childhood professional. And remember, these tips and sample questions are only here to help you being yourself, being comfortable, not being too caught up on the vocabulary that you use is an important part of being successful in that interview and being able to show your character and allowing someone to get to know you. Thank you.